When will life ever be normal again? That is a question that I find myself asking a lot during this pandemic. Hi, my name is Jimmy, and today I will be talking about how COVID 19 has changed our lives ever since it started. Ever since we've heard about this virus, it's the only thing that people have been talking about. And ever since last year, COVID 19 has changed every aspect of human life. It has changed the way we eat, the way we learn, and the way we communicate with one another. Figuratively and literally, COVID 19 has put a barrier in everything that we do. And all around the world, including the United States, especially the United States, people are suffering from the catastrophic effects of COVID 19. One of the biggest groups that have taken the biggest hit from COVID 19 are students. For the first time in most students' life, schools are being shut down and classes are being moved to remotely online. This takes away a student's social interaction that they previously had, and with this brings a new wave of mental illnesses such as depression, anxiety, and stress. In an article written by Yuki Terada called COVID 19 Impact on Students' Academic and Mental Well-Being, he states that the COVID 19 pandemic may worsen existing mental health problems and lead to more cases among children and adolescents because of the unique combination of the public health crisis, social isolation, and economic recession. It's not just students, but humans in general. We need that social interaction in order to properly function. And for some students, it also adds an extra burden of getting their hands on the proper technology, equipment, and materials needed for online courses. Yuki also states that 17% of teenagers have difficulty completing homework assignments because they do not have a reliable access to computer or internet connection. This is the biggest problem for lower income families. And while being at home in isolation, students tend to not spend enough time being outdoors and being active. This causes a student's sleeping schedule to change, sleeping later, waking up later, and sometimes missing classes. In an article written by UNICEF called How COVID 19 Changed Our Life, Voices of the Children, a student named Matt Davlishy claims, "I don't get tired enough during the day, so I can't sleep at night. And I wake up late in the morning. That's why I'm sometimes late or even miss video classes." And while students are spending more time in front of screens and less time outside, the obesity rate has risen since last year. Caroline Jones wrote an article on how PE teachers are trying to get students off their couch. And in her article, she states that in 2019, 17.1% of children ages 10 to 17 in California are already obese. And now, with children spending more time in front of screens and less time engaged in physical activity, the obesity rate during this pandemic is expected to rise even more. While students of all ages have been through drastic changes during this pandemic and it has affected them physically and mentally, other businesses and other people have also been affected as well. Another major group that has taken a big hit from COVID 19 are restaurants. With COVID 19 restricting social interactions, many restaurants have been faced with a major challenge of customers not dining in. The biggest problem, according to Amber Van Mosler in her article called How Restaurants Have Been Affected by COVID 19, her survey shows that 47% of restaurants claim that their biggest challenge is the transition to online ordering and delivery. This poses a big threat to bars, lounges, and other small businesses. This is because it is not ideal for customers to order alcoholic drinks or cocktails that bars and lounges usually serve. And with that comes another big challenge that restaurants now have to face. With customers avoiding dine-in and cooking at home as much as possible, restaurants are not getting enough revenue, losing sales, and forced out of business due to not having enough money to pay rent. And while schools and restaurants are facing these challenges during the pandemic, it doesn't mean that other industries haven't been hit as well. Businesses such as nail salons, barbershops, and transportation businesses have been hit heavily as well. All businesses now must transition into a new way of work in order to adapt to this change. While we might not know when our life will ever be back to normal, there is only so much that we can do. For the first time ever, a virus, a pandemic, has threatened the integrity of the United States and other countries along as well. The only thing that we can do right now is doing our part by staying indoors as much as possible, avoiding gatherings and places that have a lot of people, wearing a mask whenever outdoors, and waiting patiently for a vaccine. Thank you very much.